All right. Today we going in. What do I mean? I mean that there are two things that we have to work on today. I don't know if we can get them done today because they're surprisingly tricky. So what we got going here, is these two things here, right? We have to do the shields, and we have to do this. The shields, they could be like the easiest thing ever, but they might be a little trickier than expected, and that's more so what I'm expecting. I know I literally just said they could be trickier than expected, but I'm expecting them to be trickier than expected, which means, I'm not even. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole. Basically, the idea here is so. Let me break up what the idea here is. Or Eclipse can stop responding. Today's just one of those days, dude. Alright, so it's working again. I take that back? No, I don't take that back. Okay. I need. I don't know if it's the entity player that has block with shield. I feel they probably do, right? So, where the frickety frackety fuck is this done? Hello? Why am I doing this, making this so hard for myself? Find, attack. You're serious. Find the next source. Where is this? Attack entity from, there we go. Okay, so. This is how this thing goes down. So we have on-player attack. This fires a living attack event, which we respond to. Once I can open the package explorer. Eclipse, are you okay? I don't think you're okay, bro. No, you're not okay. I think it's because my computer's trying to open CurseForge at the same time, because obviously that needs to be open to test things, but it's like apparently having a hard time deciding if it wants to do that. So how do we respond to this? We respond to this by right here, on attack, at lowest priority. We check if we should cancel by having a cancel calculation injector. But that is different. That's its own thing. We're not canceling the calculation. And then we get the combat tracker and we pass that attack stage through to it. We're going to update the context and damage. We're going to get the context. And if we are set to do shield calcs, this is where we're going to fire our shield block event. Which means if I'm not set to do shield calcs, this whole thing is like not even done. We just come in here and do this. So we're not doing anything other than updating context and damage, which we should still do even if we're doing nothing. And this is where we invoke the block using shield. That's actually interesting. Because I am using Mixin to invoke that. So I have an issue on the repo that goes into details. What do you mean failed to load issues? Failed to load issues my ass. There's issues here, load them. It can't load my issues. It can't find my issues. What? Is it just that, or does my other repo have this problem too? Is this a GitHub thing? Go to milestones. This has closed issues. That's 17 closed issues. Find an issue there. There are no closed issues in this milestone. Nonsense. There's 17 of them. What the hell are you talking about? Oh my gosh. I can't even look at my own issues. I have to go to the thing directly. Is there an issue like 117? Is there an issue 121? Okay, we're getting closer. 123? Nope. 122. Here we are. Okay. Says custom RL craft 2.10. Yeah. Okay, so they have shield break and Spartan shield. Spartan shield's probably not too relevant here, but they do have shield break. And the Spartan shield mod shield with nothing defined shield effectiveness. Therefore, shields are expected to have 100% effectiveness on everything, which DDD debug calculates 0 damage being taken. Expected vanilla behavior, assuming 100% effectiveness, would cancel knockback on defended on hit effects on defender. Expected modded behavior with shield break. Shield raise, tick delay, fully invulnerable if you are not blocking. Timed shield parrying and attack. Block, knockback, attacker penalty debuffs. Strong hit, overpowering shield, block, shield cooldown, defender penalty debuffs. General hit against shield, vanilla block. Overall, it would appear that penalties of the shield raise delay and strong hit overpowering the shield do not work. Interesting. This might be exclusively a thing with shield break. No, I don't want to see the issues. I want to see the repo for shield break. How does this work? How does this work? Okay, on living attack at lowest priority. Shield breaks don't damage player, but also don't knock back either. It just might not even be compatible. I don't know. Cited modded behavior with shield break. Shield raise, tick delay, fully vulnerable as if you were blocking. Timed shield parrying and attack. Block, knockback, tenor, attack penalty. General holding and shield vanilla block. Repeal that. Penalties of shield raise delay and strong hit overpowering shield do not work. Okay, so that's for that. It seems the parry amount is global. And then they reset the active hand anyway. And you say that penalties of shield raise delay. Right, because the reason why the shield raise delay doesn't work is because we're getting the shield here, right? Which is done here, which we do when we get the blocking shield. Because we compute all of this ourselves. Right? And so because we were computing all of this ourselves, we're determining that a shield is being used, even if that makes it so that it's not being used. Like, why doesn't shield parry just... Why doesn't shield break just change this? Like, override this for shields. Like, mix into this for shields. And then... just do that. Like, just take a look at the active item stack use count. That would be so much easier. However, there might be a way. So, what shield block does, or shield parry, or shield break, I'll get it right eventually. What it does is it sets a state. It sets an entity state of 30. Now, how is that utilized? And this is on entity living base, right? No, it's world. World. World, really? Yo, that's whack. Give me the world. There should be a reference here, I swear to God. It should be here. There. Alright, so set entity state. I love this. Can I... I don't want a type hierarchy for world. I want a fucking... fuck, dude. Whatever, world server. I presume the server is the one doing it. Set entity state. So there's an entity tracker. Send to tracking and self. The entity and a entity status packet. Send packet to tracked players. And you send a packet. Right, so what the hell's the packet? It's an entity status packet. What does the state contain? Open the implementation of this. Entity handle status updates. Right, yeah, that, uh-huh. Handle status update. There we go. And we are sending, just so that we're all aware, we're sending 30 and 29. Those are the states we're sending. That's what we're sending. So this is 33, 36, 37, boop, 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 30, which plays a shield break, and 29, which plays a shield block. Is that it? I mean, this completely overwrites the way that works. All right, so in all those contexts, it actually like sets the damage to 0. And let's see, in that context, it cancels it. I would need to like uncancel it. Wait, no, not really. Well, all right. What's going on? I need to see this in game. I don't know if this is doable. Alright, well, let's check this out. Alright, so we have shield break there. Okay, good, good, good. Because I don't know. I basically need to, like, I don't know what the expected behavior here is. Like, would they theoretically be expecting it to apply the potion effects, but, like, still have the damage go through because of shield distribution instead of always getting set to 0? It might be possible, but I don't know. Might have to do, like, a whole specific set of integration for this, which would be annoying. You know what else is annoying? Fucking Minecraft having a goddamn stroke every goddamn time. Alright, there we go. Work now. Test the shield breaking stuff. Can this thing load? Oh my gosh, dude. And then it just cancels it. So currently right now, if I have shield calcs enabled, then DDD likely does its thing before shield break does, and then what happens is it like resets the active hand, and then that means that the hand doesn't actually have a shield, which means that nothing works. Timed shield, parrying an attack, block, blah blah blah. Strong hit, overpowering shield, general hit against shield. It might just be like that you just have to disable the shield calcs. That might just be it, right? Like, there might not be any other option. It's either you use DDD's system or you use the shield break system. And obviously, in this context, they want to use the shield break system. But the DDD shield system just might be strictly incompatible just based on what they're doing. At least it might be strictly incompatible from DDD's perspective. We might need it a bit on shield break's end in order to get it to work. Because right now, I am not sure if... Stop. Wait, do I have shield distribution? I do have shield effectiveness here. And shield calculations are enabled. I don't know how you're supposed to actually parry it. I have not used this mod before, so that's the thing. Hit the button, please. I think that was a parry. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm just testing the shield, so this can just... Let me just test this. Yes, welcome. We're testing shield stuff. Yeah, that's significantly more. So, like, this is... And as you can see, I had it up there, but it didn't actually block because there's a certain amount of ticks. There's 5 ticks until the shield's actually blocking. Okay, so this is the problem, though. This is the problem. It doesn't work. That is shield break. If I turn shield calcs on, it just completely overwrites shield-based mechanics. I do not know if there is a bridge between these two systems. Because shield break is straight up negating all the damage. No, it's not base game vanilla mechanics. This is a mod called Shield Break. This one here. It makes it so that you can parry attacks with the shield, and if the shield takes too much damage, it actually gets disabled for a while and stuff. Now, I do not know if I... Goodbye, buddy. If I say... Do not give you this, because I do not wish to die with it. Yeah, this is like 10 attack damage. I'm gonna sneeze like any moment now, I can feel it. If I give you this, and then... Right, like, I take substantial damage. I need to turn on, Where's the shield info? Oh, it's this one, right? No, shield calculations. Enabled and in chat. Do that. That's the shield distribution. So, like, it picks up the shield distribution, right? And obviously I'm not taking any damage because I have my invulnerability hacks on right now. But then, if I turn this off... I've taken enough damage. Girls very strangely. What the hell do I have? Oh, okay, sure. That's something else. Do not worry about that. That has nothing to do with the shield break mod. That's Thaumcraft being Thaumcraft. Just ignore that. So like this because it's so much damage, it disables the shield. Right? Because this thing won't normally disable shields, but it will disable shields like this. Can you, like, go away? Thank you. So... I do not know if there is a concession between these two systems. The only concession I can think of is, like, somehow having DDD know a shield is being used without doing the shield stuff. Where is this called? This is what I gotta do, right? Like, basically, I gotta more or less have this not happen. If I can mix in right into here and say no to this, setting the damage to 0, then it, like, still doesn't even matter because shield break's just gonna cancel the event and, like, nothing's gonna go through anyway. So now the question is that the intended idea? Right? Is the intended idea that DDD blocks the damage? Or sorry, it's the intended idea that you I don't understand what the heck's the intended idea here? That, like, the shield block and shield parry stuff still go through, but you still take damage? Do you take no damage on a parry? What's the what's the idea here? Now, canceling... Now, what this issue specifically talks about is that it talks about an event. I think it's a calculation event. Yeah, it talks about this. When cancelled, shield calculations are not done. This does not mean that it, like, goes back to vanilla behavior. It just means that shield calcs aren't done. And the issue that I have in the repo is DDD's shield block event does not produce expected vanilla-like interactions. That's a bunch of word vomit that means nothing. Because the event is not producing dick. And what do you mean by expected vanilla-like interactions? They say expected modded behavior with shield break. Shield raise tick delay correlates to, so like the delay until the shield's actually active, it indicates that you're fully vulnerable as if you were not blocking. DDD overrides that because of the way DDD does shields. Timed shield parrying an attack should correlate to block, a knockback attacker penalty debuffs. Strong hit overpowering shield should correlate to block, shield cooldown, defender penalty debuffs. General hit should be vanilla block, and none of that happens. So if you're wanting that behavior, then just turn off DDD's shield calculations. Which there's an option for. I just did it. So I'm not sure I understand. If they want the modded shield break behavior to override the DDD behavior, then you just turn off the DDD behavior. If it's because they're not sure how to turn off the DDD behavior and they thought canceling the DDD shield block event should go back to vanilla behavior, then that much I understand. But they were in the config category for shield. Okay, let me. Like, there's no way they missed this, right? They were right in here. Because they were talking about default shield resistance. They were talking about this option right here. You know what else is in this? Enable shield calcs is right there. And keep in mind, the Forge configs are alphabetical. So it's gonna have default shield resists, and then like right below it, enable shield calcs. Well, actually, it's gonna be enable armor calcs and then enable shield calcs. It's like they couldn't have missed that, right? Like they couldn't have missed to turn this off. So is it implied that they want this on and have this behavior? Then what do they want DDD's shield distributions to do? I don't know, right? I do not know. I think the way DDD does shields is fine. Maybe it's not the best way to do it, but I can't necessarily think of a better way to do it. Hello, what are we doing? Hello, Alphonse. Right now we are diving down a deep rabbit hole, a deep programming rabbit hole, where I have an issue. I can actually show the issue. I should show the issue. Allow me to show the issue that we got here. This might require a bit of explaining to explain this. So this is the issue I have. The mod I'm working on, DDD, Distinct Damage Descriptions, has its own shield blocking system, where vanilla shields do not always block all the damage. Instead, some damage goes through and depends on the shield effectiveness depending on the different types of damage. That is like the 5-second explanation of DDD's shield systems. However, there's another mod, Shield Break, that introduces a shield parrying system, and this issue that's opened says that that DDD's shield systems does not produce vanilla-like interactions, basically saying that the expected behavior should be the behavior as if DDD didn't have its shield systems, which you can turn off in the config, so I'm wondering why this issue is a thing. Any of that makes sense? And they provided a lot of information, which was really nice, right? Like they provided a bunch of awesome information. I might need to patch this minorly. I have a setting to auto set it to off. I'm not having a thing that detects shield break and go, oh, I'll turn off shield calcs for you. You just go in and turn it off, right? And the thing is, it's that I have over here. This is shield break. This is not my mod code. All right. Let me just be clear. This is not my code that we're looking at right now. This is by Fawny Monkey. They're the creators of Shieldbreak. They've helped with DDD in a couple places. I'll just make that abundantly clear. And the way it works is that it listens to the same event that like DDD does at like the same priority that DDD does, and it cancels the event, and then it does all of its like shield stuff. And so as a result, I don't know if there's a way to like unify these two systems together, to marry them into one. I do not know if there's a way. Because I could just say, oh, uncancel the event, right? If I do that, then there's definitely a system where it's like, okay, uncancel the event. But how do you uncancel the event after this fires? Because this fires at lowest priority. You know? What I would do is I'd probably mix into this line specifically right here and uncancel it. It's an option. I don't really like that, but it's an option. Because then I could uncancel it, and then what happens is that Shieldbreak's still going to do all of its stuff, but then the damage is still going to go through normally. Is that the intended? Like, I don't know what the intended thing here is. Well, they say the intended thing. They say the expected behavior is this, which is basically as if there were no shield calcs to begin with, in which case you just turn it off. Like, it's that simple. And I am of a strong belief that the idea, now, not that this really affects much, but I am under the strong idea that Shavaxi's RL craft will not have DDD's shield system being used because they use this. They use Shield Break. And Shield Break and DDD's shield systems are currently strictly incompatible with one another. I do not know if there's a way to unify them, but I'm under the impression that they are totally okay with this shield system. Especially because in that pack, having attacks go through your shield is going to be really bullshit early game when skeletons shoot you with a shield and you still take lethal arrow damage to the head and die. So I don't even think they would want to use it anyway. A lot of people would be outraged if it's like, hey, my shield doesn't block all the damage. This is fucking bullshit. So, like, I don't know who this is for. Which, again, is leading me to believe, I'm just gonna say, hey, you gotta turn this off, right? Like, that is more or less what I'm thinking. We're gonna put a comment and ask about that. If I don't get an answer in like 2 weeks or whatever, then we're just gonna say that the answer is you do not do anything. And move stuff for fam. No worries. No worries. So we're gonna deal with that. All right. So that's that. That's I need another. I need a separate section. I need a separate section on the to-do list. It's done with like 3 question marks, and this already done with mixins. What are we doing? There we go. Because like DDD already uses mixins. I thought it didn't use mixins anymore, which is what I said in the comment, but then I realized that I am a genius and I already did. Because oh, this is combat context. I need the combat tracker. Because I like call the block using shield method. So what I gotta know now is why like it works, dude. It works. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. If they want specific compat between shield break and DDD, and like they want like some of the damage to go through, but like still have the shield break mechanics, then that's a different story. But based off what it looks like they're asking, is that it looks like they're asking for the shield break mechanics to just work as if DDD is not there while having DDD there. At which point you just disable DDD's shield mechanics, and they work. Which is something that Shiv asked for when they first looked into DDD. Which is something that I did way, way, way back. Not even 1.9 DDD. We're talking 1.8 DDD I added that. Anyway, enough about that. Now we're here. Ender skills. This is the only other thing. And if I can somehow finish this early, which I probably won't. I thought this would take a long time because I would look into it and I'd find an answer and it would work and then we would do it. I'd not think I'd basically be done this in an hour by basically going, I already have that with a question mark. So I'm like so lost with that. But this is huge. Okay. I have I have research that has been performed way back in time. Kusanagi messaged me about it. Where? Come on. Okay. Okay, they sent me a list. They sent me a list of stuff. Okay. Where is this? Something. Do I use mixins? Yeah. I use mixins at 1.7. You don't need to worry about DD using mixins, really. Would it be possible to add damage types to certain ender skills? They all use the same damage source. However, each spell has their own link to it, as in they can perhaps support that modification. No idea how DDD would need it. Largely depends on how underskill does damage and stuff. Might be possible with determined damage event TBH. You just need to isolate the context, which is what I said, right? And then I went, all right. I looked at Kusanagi and I'm like, all right, here's the deal. You tell me, give me the information. Tell me how DDD. Oh, sorry. Tell me how Ender Skills does its damage and stuff. Right? Like do part of this research, and then I'll be able to determine if it's possible to do it with a regular script. It's just like a Zen script, determine damage event, kind of classification context thingamajigger. If not, I will add integration for it because there's then a very solid argument to add integration for it, right? If it's possible to do it with ZenScript alone, then not really, unless doing it via ZenScript alone is a massive pain in the ass. And so I'm like, do the research for me. And they're like, all right. And they did the research. So Ender Skills has a thing. They have a thing. Let me see this. Let me go here. They fire a thing. They're so lucky that they do this one thing, which is going to determine like everything. Where is it? I say we're talking about this one. Am I? Yeah, okay. So, what they have here, this is Ender Skills. Also not my mod. This is a skill called Gloom, which, I don't know, it's some weird projectile-like thing. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it does. But it sets the source to magic damage, right? So it's like, it has this skill damage source, it sets it to being magic damage, and then it fires this skill damage event. And this has the skill being used, the damage source that causes it, and I presume this is the amount of damage. Which means I can listen to this to determine what skill is being used, which can then determine the damage distribution. In a similar manner that DDD does it for Thaumcraft. Which is to say, a similar manner to how DDD, similar how Thaumcraft and Electroblobs, right? Because Electroblobs does this too. How does Electroblobs do this? That's what I want to know. Right, I set this. I have spell distribution. Do I create a distribution for each one? Yeah, I do. I register a new distribution for each one. Which is fine, that's fair, right? And so then what I need to do is I need the how the heck does this do this? It has a skill damage source thing, right? But it does not pass in the ability itself. But much like Thaumcraft, because Thaumcraft has the focus distribution, which is then going to get this, right? Like, and like that works, but this thing, oh, this is fired before, the skill damage event is fired before the entity actually takes damage. Really? That's like kinda useful. So what I can do is I can check for a skill damage source and then a skill damage event and assume that skill damage source and like whenever a skill damage source is created, it creates a skill damage event. And then when it creates a skill damage event, it fires that event. If I listen for when the skill damage event is fired, I can use that as basically a dog whistle to like say, hey, we're doing Ender Skills stuff, so the Ender Skills distribution should be the distribution that is being applied right now. And then on damage, I basically check if the damage source is a skill damage source. And then I go to the skill damage event that I just like saw, corresponding to the attacker, and then grab the skill, use that to define the distribution. Does that make any sense? I minimized that by accident. Whoops. Some spells don't do enemy damage. A list of damaging skills would be useful. So there's Crush, there's Slash, there's Barrage Wisp, there's Final Flash, Gleam Flash, Lumen Wave, Radiant Ray, Solar Lance, Glowing Pop, Bleeding, Blood Pool, Contaminate, Siphon, Burning, Explode, Fireball, Flaming Breath, Flaming Rain, Focus Flame, Avoided, Black Hole, Gas Cloud, Shadow, Shadow Jab, Gloom, Grasp. Hard to damage as possible to add fire to type magic. And there's Black Flame, which does out of world damage, like literal void damage, which is interesting. There's Smash, and then there's Thorny, and there's a lot. Okay, there's a lot. There is a lot. But that's just all config stuff, right? It's how do I get DDD to know exactly which one is being used. Huh. You know, like that's an interesting kind of thing. Thank you for the hydrate. All right, let's make it happen. All right, the only way we're gonna make it happen is if we make it happen, which means we gotta go all the way to here, and we gotta go to here. And I gotta go over to Ender Skills. Because I need to know the project ID, which I copied that. And Ender skills. Don't have a space, don't have a space. You have a fucking space, you're joking, dude. This is dumb. And then dash, I presume this is where the project ID goes. I don't know. Which one is it? 26, yeah, okay. This goes right here. Boom. And this is the file ID of whatever version of Ender Skills we're using. And of course, we're going to be using the most recent one. Alright, which one is that? One that was released in 2024. When did this mod come out? It came out August 2nd, 2020. Wow. This mod's 5 years old. Happy Borf. And then I need this. I'm gonna yoink this right here. This will get me Ender Skills. I use Ender Skills, and we have a whole separate thing for Ender Skills, and then we Ender Skill it up, alright? Also, I'm disabling Shield Break now, because I don't think I need to worry about that. Where is Shield Break? I don't need that anymore. Alright, so now we build it. And we pray to God. We pick. Yes, save the changes to the build Gradle. We pick a god and pray. Pray with me that it will build correctly and that DDD will not throw a temper tantrum because it decided that today's Tuesday or some shit. Let us all gather together. Bow our head in prayer, DDD, please. I'm just asking you to incorporate one more thing into your build environment. It is not that hard. Please. Praise be. Yeah, that's what this is. Come on, build successfully. I believe in the power of the Javas. The Javas and then the Gradles. I believe in our almighty savior Gradle. Gradle 8. Please, bless this project with a proper build cycle. May your toolchain bless this project with a new dependency. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it'd be done by now. I don't have any more It did it! Now, project and external dependencies. Do we have Ender skills? Ah, there it is! There he is! Alright. Praise be. Praise be! Anyway. Now, we're gonna go into here. And we're gonna go down to integration IDs, and this is where we're going to add the newest member of the integration family household, Ender Skills ID, which is going to be, I swear to God, it should just be Ender Skills. If it's not, somebody's getting shot. If they pull a this, if they pull a better survival, somebody's gonna pay for it. I swear on everything that is holy. I swear on Gradle 8. Forge Gradle 8. Whatever. Whatever. Y'all better know your shit. I'm just gonna open their mcmod.info. What the fuck do you mean I can't open mcmod.info? What are you, fucking nuts? Where is the thing, dude? Is this Enderskills API? Is this gonna have what I'm looking for? No. Client util common. Are you gonna be under common? Enderskills. There. Mod ID Enderskills. Thank God they did it right. Oh my God. Oh my lordy lord. Praise be. They did it right. I'm going on a religious journey, dude. This is the excitement I need right now, dude. I am so understimulated. I need to go on a journey with Enderskills. Don't ask me why Enderskills is the one to take me on this journey. But I'm having a fucking religious delusion. Religious? Yeah, no, I said that right. I almost thought I said the word delicious delusion. Thus proving that I am experiencing a delusion. Just don't worry about it. Just don't even worry about it. Alright, so we got Ender skills and we got Ender skills. We got Endy skills, boy. So, I'm starting to be concerned. Your simulation yourself on stream with religion, which is apparently delicious. Look, do you always have to take what I say and drastically twist it out of context? Alright, I'm going to need an integration for Ender skills. I'm going to need a predefined distribution. But just one? And then a tracker. Yes, because it's funny. Well, I can't fault you there. Am I going to pull a Thumbcraft like this, where I'm going to have this kind of thing? Where it's a predefined distribution, but the types and stuff depend? I don't know. I'm going crazy. Integration, this is going to be a final class, and it's going to implement iMod integration. Yeah, yes. Okay, very good. Very good. Return integration titles dot Ender skills title. return integration IDs dot ND skills IDs. And then we're going to have a handler, and this handler is going to listen to the skill damage event. And then we're going to have a skill usage tracker, perhaps, that will track which skill is being used. I don't know, dude. It might be better to have just one, because I can't isolate I can't isolate each of the contexts individually because the damage source itself doesn't have the information needed. It's different for the wizardry one, right? Because the wizardry one, it had this. It had all that stuff for like the wizardry type and whatever. Because the damage type of the damage source actually was relevant for that, but not for Ender Skills. Ender Skills is taking a little bit more like a Thaumcraft approach where it decides to slam a line of illegal drugs and then just do what it wants. So we're gonna have to track this shit. Dude, how fucking high was I when I made this synchronized? I mean, I know why I made it synchronized, but like, dang, dude, I was on some shit when I decided that that needed to be synchronous. I guess because there's multiple threads that could do. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. Alright. All we gotta do is okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to set up a little something, a little something, you know, a little something, little something, little something. I need help. Do you have a handler? You do have a handler, but you just make your own handler. I mean, honestly, it sounds like the shield mechanic developers may also have been on something like the settings they have sound like a good idea, but also recipe for conflict no easy solution. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. The shield break system, definitely they were on. They cooked, right, but they cooked in a slightly incompatible way. It again, I think if DDD and shield break are going to work together, it's going to be because shield break and DDD sit down in a room and go, look, I know we don't like working together, but let's make this work, right? Like, both sides are going to have to work on something for that. I don't think it can just be one side does all the heavy lifting. And I could sit down with Fonny and be like, yo, let's get these mods to work, but I don't know if there's a demand for it. to like not get these mods working, but get like these two systems working. I don't know if there's a demand for it. If someone could point me to the demand of wanting to get that working in a very specific way, then I'll do it, right? I'll sit down with them and we'll do it. Do I have? I do have a baubles handler package here, so we're gonna make a package for a handler here. We're just gonna call it the Ender Skills Handler. TM final extend the handler class. Specifically my handler class. Thank you. I think I can just subscribe with normal priority. I don't think it matters. Alright, so with this skill damage event, what we're gonna do is we're gonna event it up. What I need to grab is the skill. Right, we have a registry name. We're just gonna grab a resource location. Wait, this skill implements a forge registry thing? Wow, you're fucking nuts, bro. Is this a regular Java properties? No, this is a different thing. Okay, I wanted that. That's important to know. Skill data. Interesting. Sync, async, sync, async, blah, 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 blah. Skill info, nobody cares. Okay, all I need from this legit is just the registry name, right? Like, well, and the user. So what we're going to have is we're going to have a map. It's going to be a private static final map, and it's gonna map the UUID of the user to the resource the string of the resource location of the skill being used, because then we can reference the config and do that. And this is just going to be a new hash map. That's all we need. We don't need to make it complicated, boyo. Right? Look at that. Look at that. Grab the usage tracker and just put in there the event dot get entity living. Is this the user? I really hope that's the user. I need to double check. What does it say here? Owner. Yeah, so skill damage event is fired with owner, this, which is the skill, the source, and the damage. And we need the owner. The owner is going to be the thing, right? That determines everything. It should. I'm gonna hope that this is working, that this will work the way I want. Get unique ID, and then the value is going to be event.getSkill.get registry name dot toString. Only players can use skills, right? Like, I'm not high. I might as well just make it entity living base, just in case. Just in case. We're gonna get user.get unique ID. It would also be nice to clear this out. And the only other time that would be appropriate would be public final void on damage cleanup, I guess. Actually, is there a better way to do this? Oh wait, I might be cooking. Holy shit! Wait, hold up. I might want to do it here. Event.get get true attacker. Whoa, dude, what the heck you doing? Now it only exists for that bit. Mutable list of, dude. New ender skill. handler. The idea being that now I am tracking which skill is being used. Now I need to go to the mod integration kernel. Integratable mods dot put modcons dot integration IDs dot ender skills ID, and the value is going to be a supplier that's going to make a new ender skills handler. Ender skills integration. Excuse me. And that's all I got to do. And the ender skills distribution is going to be final. It's going to extend DDD predefined distribution, abstract predefined distribution, same shit. The source is built in, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the source is always built in for this shit. This needs to be public. Where's my focus, Stormcraft focus team major? Focus distribution. Stormcraft focus. Ender skills, skill, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. Source dot built in that. Boom. Enabled is going to be true. And then basically what this is going to do is it's going to check this, get the true attacker, do all that nonsense. If this is not true, then we're just gonna return, and maybe an optional string, I guess. Yeah, string skills, this is gonna be, this thing here. No, debug lib, 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 debug lib dot output formatted debug. And this is gonna be we're gonna get this going here. Pass the user into here. We're gonna do user.getName here. And then we're gonna do the skill here. And then we're gonna pass the skill in here. If the skill is null, for whatever reason, we'll just say null. Otherwise, we will use the skill. I mean, I guess it will just say null, right? So I don't really need to do that. And basically what I'm gonna do right now is we're gonna have get skill used for the source. Get skill used for the source, and then we're gonna return sets dot oh wait, collections dot empty set. Basically, this allows me to determine, because I don't exactly know which one's going to be called first or whatever, I don't give a shit either. The idea is that now when I register this distribution is never actually going to be used. Because since it's always going to be returning optional.empty, DDD is going to find that and go, oh, you're not used in this context, I'm going to skip over you. However, it is still going to do this, which will allow me to basically verify that the skill that like I am picking up the skill being used, and that like my whole infrastructure is working right now. Because if so, then it's just like I just need a config that maps skill resource location names to damage distributions. And then instead of doing this, right, I get the skill used, and then we do that, right? And then how I translate that is I don't really know, because I'm thinking about it and it's like this is kind of annoying if I have to like do this and translate it to a distribution every time I check this and check this. Like there's gotta be a better way. There's just gotta be. But that doesn't really matter right now. All that matters is that I'm able to correctly determine what's doing what. I also need to verify if we are not if our source is not an instance of skill damage source. Right? So that we can filter out a bunch of stuff. Only if it's a skill damage source should we be doing any of this. Right? That is an important thing. We need to be a skill damage source, and our true source needs to be an entity living base, so that I know like what the thing is. Like the true source. The actual source can be whatever the fuck it wants, but just the true source, it has to be the entity because we have to know who's doing the damage. It's the only way. And I swear to God, if Ender Skill does some dumb shit where it's unable to determine who used what skill, I'm gonna flip. I've just been conditioned too much with Thaumcraft to expect things to not make sense. But yeah, DDD should now be able to pick up Ender Skill's existence, and it should be able to, if everything's working correctly, spit all this information back at me. Which we appreciate. So, to that end, let me just, while this is building, quickly add Ender Skills into the dev profile. Hello, can you pick up Ender skills? Ender skills. Do I need a space? Ender skills. Here we are. Wow, that took... Alright, whatever. We good. Build this. It's probably done building. Let me just... That is the wrong DDD folder. Yes, I have more than one DDD folder. I'm not going into it. I have like at least 4 different folders for DDD. It's kind of nuts. What am I looking for? Oh, yes, this one. Then into this DDD folder, not into that folder, into this folder, there we go. This was built 1233, which is, yep, that's the one. And then I need to go to, I don't know what, definitely not this. This is the wrong spot to be. Oh, what am I doing? Just go close this. Go open folder here. Here we go. Hello. This is what we gotta do. And then open up this, and then get rid of this. Is this gonna be DDD 1.9, or is DDD 1.9 already existent? I don't remember. No. Okay. No, okay. I'm high. DDD is on 1.8, Scaling Feast is on 1.9. Well, 1.9.1 now, but whatever, same diff. Oh my gosh, dude, keeping track of it all is a whole thing and a half. Okay, anyway. DDD is on 1.8, now going to be on 1.9. I should probably very quickly version bump that to 1.9. Where's my Gradle properties? Gradle properties, set it to 1.9. There we go. Okay, this should now say, I mean, it's not going to say in this, but the next build should say 1.9. Okay, let's see this work. Let's go. I never actually checked if DDD saw Ender skills. Hold on, this is kind of important. Pause yo shit. DDD, did you meet Ender Skills? Did you guys talk? Did you guys get to know each other over like a cup of tea, or what's up here? Yeah, that's something else. I really should remove that from the thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Wait, no, this is way past, or sorry, way before. You found T-Construct, you found Tetra, you found Conarm, you found Bubbles, you found Spartan Weapon, you found Whaley, you found EB Witcher, you found Craft Tweaker, you found Fermium Bidder, you found Thumbcraft, you found Content Tweaker, you found Like Mob, you found First Aid, you found Much Imagine Crafts Better Survival, you found the Between Lanes, you found Quality Tools, you found Tech Guns, you found Ender Skills. Alright, they've talked. They've had a meeting. DDD has met with the conglomerate of friends that it has. Okay. This is good. I like what's happening up in the top left. It's very very good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. Okay, what does matter is I need to figure out how Ender Skills does this shit. At Ender Skills. Alright. Probably want something like that. Probably want something like that. Probably want something like that. Brother. Alright, where do I set this shit up? Probably over here. Man, this takes me back to when I played Paranagi, and it was a fucking nightmare. My mouse feels extremely sensitive, I do not know why. I have 9 EL, right, okay. I need levels. Slash XP. What the fuck do you mean slash XP isn't a thing? Oh, I need an amount. Okay, okay. 420 levels to me. There we go. I should do it. Can my mouse chill for a sec? Like, it can't. It has like no fucking chill. Okay, so the gloom was. Can I not take this? I don't give a shit about any of that. And then there's a black hole, which is great. That's for void stuff. This is... Does light do anything? Okay. Light doesn't do much, so that's fine. Earth... Impenetrable dome... Yeah, whatever. Hasten, fog... Okay, What do you mean I don't have enough funds? Oh, it requires 10 EL, you fucking balls? What do you mean I don't have 10 EL? Oh, is it this thing? Do I need more of these? I don't know. It needs 10 EL. I don't have 10 EL. How do you get 10 EL? I have 9. I used a bunch of the stuff. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't fucking care. I don't need the fucking golem anyway. I don't fucking know how it works. I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. Summons a sentinel to assist you and your teammates. Let me just increase endurance points. Can we just max this shit, please? How many levels are there? Hello? I didn't think this would keep going. I'm gonna be real. It's kind of sick though, but like. What the fuck, bro? Okay, I think we're fine. I think we're good. Here's ability strength. I need the smash though, unfortunately. Oh wait, I can't get this. How does one get more EL? Do I need this thing? What is this? What is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I thought it's just use these things. Oh, it is. It's just use a metric fuck ton of them. This bar is going up. Is there a better way to do this? I'm definitely doing something wrong here. We're getting somewhere though. Ah, who gives a shit? If it works, it works. Dude, I'm like trying to spam click fucking fast. I'm still not even there. You know, I'm gonna hold my mouse. There we go. I made it. Surely there's gotta be a better fucking way. Oh, there's only 2 mobilities, but there's a bunch of offense. Okay, is this alt? What the fuck are these skis? Or is it control? Nope, it is certainly not. I don't have the thing that looks for it. Okay. Look for Ender skills, whatever. Oh, that changes my spell slot. Ender skills. Okay. What else is bound? Am I don't know, dude, whatever. Oh, shit. That's on cooldown. Ooh, I have summoned a very dangerous black hole. Okay. Yep, that sounds about right. And how do we cycle to the different things? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Do I need this? Oh, okay. That's what it is. Yeah, 'cause these are the only ones I got. And that's a dash, and then what's the other one? What? What the fuck did I just do? Okay, I need a passive mob to test this on. Cow, you are... There's a wither cow? I'm not even... nope, 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 not wondering about that. What do you mean it takes 30 fucking seconds to recharge? Oh, you're gonna level this up, dude. I wish I didn't have to mouse over, dude. I would fucking love if I didn't have to do that. Crush the ground, stunning enemies. I mean, all this is doing now is like lowering the cooldown a bit. I mean, we're nearly at like 30-second cooldown. That's pretty good. Now we had a 30-second cooldown. Okay. So what if we just like... Alright, what the fuck did you say about that? Okay, I don't think it did anything. Representative type force. Where did it say that? I don't know what thing I just used. Okay, what the fuck, mate? Okay, I need gloom. I did grasp. Okay, gloom this guy. Gloom this guy. You should... I'm a genius. I am a genius. Okay, so you wanna know how I'm a genius? I'll show you how I'm a genius. I'm a genius because I'm a fucking genius, that's why. Check this, check this, check this, check this, check this, check this. I made this fantastic distribution, didn't even register it. That's why none of that happened. I am a genius. Now, Thaumcraft, when do you integrate your shenanigans? You register it on post, which makes the most sense. Alright. 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 This should be post in it. This should be DDD registries dot distributions dot registered new ender skills distribution. Bada boink. Because that's the thing that's going to be telling me stuff. Alright. And now we build it again. It shouldn't be selecting distribution, but it should be telling me, like, what skill is being used. Here we go. Okie doke. Let's go. And it now says it is DDD 1.9 because it is DDD 1.9. So got that shit going for us. We're gonna verify that that actually works correctly. That it correctly says that we are who we say we are. This should be good. We should be. This should be possible. Like I see the path to glory here, right? And it is certainly an interesting path, that's for sure. But we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Right, I said I was gonna remove MBT Tweaker from this because it's not needed. You know what's gonna be glorious about this? This is the glorious part about this. I get to finish the integration, and then I get to hand this over to people who I know use Ender skills and be like, test this. Like, you know the mod better than I do. Verify it works. Here's how it works. Do the shit. And write a bunch of, like, wiki articles and stuff. There's so much wiki article writing I need to do. I have a bunch of articles I need to write for DDD and a bunch of articles I need to write for Scaling Feast. Like, neither of those wikis are done. Kill me now. There's gotta be a better way to, like, fucking write this shit in a way that works. I don't know. Okay, so now... Can I have endurance? Endurance effect. Is this just gonna... Yeah, okay. That just literally restores my endurance. Awesome. Because I was going ham for a sec there. Okay, so now for you, if I do this, skill used by Yeelp, ender skills voided. Voided? Voided. That's what you want to call me here. Okay, okay, so notice how it provides, like, some kind of, all effects of voided.set. What is this? Mod effects. Okay, so what the fuck are you doing here? It's a base effect. And it's still, but it still fires a skill damage event. So it shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't matter if, like, okay, so if they get dotted, and the game's frozen. Hello? What the hell? That game crashed? Why? Oh my god, I know why. Oh my god, I know why. Oh my god, I know why! This shit right here. Ugh. You're a frickin' guy. You're a frickin' guy. Alright, let's do optional dot of nullable event dot get true attacker dot map to entity get unique ID. Okay, fine. It's entity living base or whatever. No, it's fucking, this is an entity. Get unique ID dot if present usage tracker remove. What do you mean that there's something wrong? Entity cannot be resolved. Well, then import it, brother. Thank you. As much as I like this, because this looks nice, I feel like the better way to do it is if event.getTrueAttacker is null, we just return. Otherwise, we then do usage tracker dot remove event dot get true attacker dot get unique ID. And then just do this so that I can just do attacker here and attacker here. So that's where it crashed. It crashed because the cow stepped into the acid. The acid doesn't have a true attacker. So when it checks to see whether or not we should update the adaptive resistance for the cow, I'm only doing it on this event because this is after DDD has done all its calculations. So at this point, I no longer need to be tracking what skill the player is using because, like, at that point, that calculation has been cleaned up. Now, you could say that maybe there should be an event that is fired when the calculation does its cleanup, but this is basically the event that's fired when the calculation does its cleanup anyway, so we're going to use that event because it works. At this point, we no longer need this information to be tracked, and we're going to remove it just to keep everything clean. And it did voided. Did it always do voided? Or did it at some point do something else? Voided, voided, boop, 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 boop. Yeah, it always is used, it's always doing voided. Is that the name of the skill? I don't know. That's the thing, right? I don't know. This is Gloom. It has, its name is Gloom. Skill damage soars. Base ability damage hit type, which is skill. Damage dot type. There's different types! What? Damage hit type, damage dot type. Skill and indirect skill. Oh, brother. We need to only check. We need to only check for damage hit type skills for this. We're going to have a separate system for damage dot type. The damage dot type is easy. I can just check for everything that's a damage dot type and just like do that. That's fine. So on skill use, skill damage event, we're gonna get event dot get source. And we know that this should always be a skill damage source. Actually, I think it's just the damage type that gets set for this. Skill damage source. How do you do your shit? Skill damage source is damage type in, which is just super that. So I actually don't even need, I don't need the cast here. The cast here is pointless. Okay, that's fine. If event dot get source dot get or just damage type dot equals base ability dot damage hit type. So if this is not true, then we return. Because I can have a separate, like, dot tracker. Maybe. I don't know. So there is for, where are we? For Gloom, there is a begin. Where is the begin called? Skill damage event. It fires that and then it sets everything. I don't understand. I'm gonna have to debug out here. Dot output formatted debug. Okay, so we're gonna need a couple things. User target, right? So the user is gonna be event.get entity living, and then the target is gonna be event dot we don't have the target. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, we don't have the target. And then, so we're gonna do user skill and then event.get amount. That should work. It should tell me what I'm using for how much damage. Only if it's hitting them, though. Because that's all I want. I don't care about the dot part right now. I'll deal with that later. I think we're getting somewhere. All right. Yep. Send this over. I didn't even like check if the version thing did correct. Well, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Let's see. DDD, scream at me. What version are you? Tell me. Inform me. What the fuck? Is this for Ender skills? Oh no. Oh yeah, it is. You have version 1.9.0. Load optional mixins with Fermium Booter, a fancy construct, tetra arm, bop 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 bop. We register the damage types. We register the creature types. Well, the one creature type. We register all this other stuff. I wasn't done reading that. We register the daylight tracker. We load all of this. We found that that's debugged, whatever. We register this, this, this. That's all that. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-do-do. Okay. Before that, it says 1.9. 1.9, 1.9, 1.9. Everything says 1.9. Good. Just want to double check that. All right. Yep, and then they die in the acid, which is exactly what you expect to have happen. Okay, so now go summon you. Do I need to be like right next to them for that to work? I don't understand. Yeah, stare at me, cow. I can't tell how much cooldown there is left on this. Please. Oh, dude. For starters, get this. Can you take the cooldown down further? Thank you. It's still a massive fuck off cooldown, but whatever. Okay, good, good, good. I use Ender Skill's Gloom. Okay, it does. Okay, so it can check that Gloom. Maybe it didn't have any initial damage. I don't know. Let's. I need to wait. I need to wait unless there's a thing. Cooldown. Reset. Okay, now check it from like far away. Hello? No, fuck off. I somehow turned off photo mode on my frickin' computer. How the hell did I do that? What did I even do? No idea. So this does Gloom. And the skill used is Gloom. Interesting that Wayla is not showing up. Visible. Yeah, I don't know why it got turned off. Okay, so I do not know why the damage is being set super low, but aside the fact that the damage is being set super low, it looks like this system for identifying what's being used is actually pretty good. I'm gonna have to check the Thorn one. Okay, yeah, no, you didn't use anything. That's for cow, that's for cow. What does this even do? What the heck? Where's the effects? It's not under offense, it's under defense, under earth, thorny. Yeah, I use this. Oh, it causes thorns damage. Okay, so then that's just thorns damage. And otherwise it attacks it from being a cactus. So it's cactus or thorns damage. And thorns damage, as stated in here, Guardian Thorns is piercing. Thorns, the Thorns enchantment inflicts force. I could definitely add a different Thorns distribution. I definitely could. I definitely could. Okay, so there's the thorny distributions, which is fine, but like that's one thing. What am I? What's left though? What's next? It's just all the skills, right? Okay. I guess now it's just looking through everything, looking through every skill, right? I have a list of skills to look at, so I'm going to start by looking at those skills first, right? And we're just gonna make all the skills. So we're gonna make an abstract class here. An abstract ender skills distribution, and this is going to extend DDD abstract predefined distribution. Yeah, we'll have it default to true. And what this is going to do is this is going to do the ender skills handler dot get last known skill used for the source dot get true source. It's basically this, right? Now, how does the wizardry one know what its thing is? Oh, because wait, that's for each of the individual types. The focus distribution, how does it know its types? It doesn't, it just do. Yeah, there's a mapper that just does a get on that, so that's fine. If that's how that's gonna do it, that's how ND skill's gonna do it. Now there are only a handful of modded effects. And by a handful, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 of them. So now some of them don't do damage at all. Like, I don't know if the electrified does something. It does, but it uses lightning bolt stuff, so that's actually totally fine. So don't need to worry about that. Overcharge, I don't know if overcharge does anything. We're gonna check that on entity update. Get overcharge capabilities. No, that doesn't do anything. Bleeding, burning, voided, and maybe even drowning and black flame. Those might do damage, but like I don't think the rest of these do. Anyway, we're gonna deal with that separately. What I want to do right now is I want to deal with the thorns. So I don't know if I need this to be set. Maybe not for this. Maybe just literally leave it like that. Actually, I don't know. We can do this. This string will keep track of the type. I want to return source.damage type dot equals this dot type. That's one thing I want. That could actually be private, probably. This is gonna be... Do I need the target? Am I gonna need the target? Not for this, no. It's not gonna be relevant. I just need the user and the skill. So we're gonna return get used skill? No. Because what if they... Then I don't need to care about this. I'm not sure. I'm gonna map this to this dot get damage distribution for skill for the user. Which is gonna be source dot get true source. And this is gonna work because getting the used skill is already gonna require me to do that anyway, so we assume that that works. And this is actually what goes here. And then this is just going to return this dot get damage distribution dot map to I damage distribution get categories dot or else collections dot empty set. Which means to get the types, it's just going to try and get the damage distribution, which means it's going to check the applicable source, which is going to check if the source damage type is equal to that. And also, if it's a skill, I don't know if I necessarily need this, but just for my own sanity check, we're gonna put that there. And then the skill damage source, do that. Damage history for skill, use skill, blah, 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 blah. All good stuff. And then all the children of this need to do is specify what type they doing. Let's make it an enum. What just closed? I think CurseForge did. I think my CurseForge just closed on me. What the hell? Damage hit type. Dude, use damage hit type. Can you do this? There we go. That's what I needed. In case there's something that has skill or indirect skill, maybe. Maybe. It might be a little excessive, but just for the sake of making my life a little bit easier, we'll split them up. And because I'm not too sure... Maybe, I don't know, we'll go... Interesting. Okay, so if it equals that, set the map to use to be the usage tracker. Else if... Nope, get the source. I guess this is theoretically fine, but I don't know if it really matters. I don't know, that might be a little bit messy. I know I have this as a thing. And what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna need another thing here for the configurations, but I'm also gonna need a separate thing for the config here under compat. Doesn't extend anything. Pretty sure, right? Yeah, it doesn't. It's just final. It's all public. Okay. What's this thing called? It is Guardian... Guardian Thorns damage. Okay, so we got that. This is actually, an abstract single type dist. Oh, I actually have to add this to the config, I guess, in the compact category. And this is going to be configure Ender skills integration. Because we need that so that when I go to this, I can go mod config dot compat dot ender skills dot use thorny distribution. There we go. Now this can go like these. And now when to use the type. The type should be used capabilities.get if present. is owned, is active, get owned. No, is owned if and is active is pretty much all I need. Where do you define all your freaking skills? Okay, so it's under mod abilities. I get you, I get you. If skill helper dot is active, source dot get true source. So that's the true source. I also need the do you know that they have a thing here for determining if it's Ender Skills damage? Basically already made something that does that. So, oh well, whatever. Do I just need that? Oh wait, and I need the skill, which is gonna be mod. No, not yet. If attacker dot if attacker is null, or source dot damage type dot equals. What the heck do you cause thorns damage with? Built-in piercing, right? Get is thorns damage if it's an entity damage source. Right. On those contexts, don't use that. And then we want to know if the entity damage source casting the source dot get is thorns damage. If that's not true, we're gonna return false as well. So what we need is we need the attacker to not be null, because we need this. The source won't be null, because that doesn't make sense. We need the source to not be an instance of or we need the source to be an instance of an entity damage source, and we need to be Thorn's damage. And if this, then return true. I don't think I need to check anything else. This will check if it's active. And it does that by returning capabilities.get.map c.is active, or else boolean the value of false. The boolean value. Yeah, okay. This is just the way it decompiled it. It doesn't matter. And see, this is the is skill damage thing that I was talking about earlier that it has, which is neat, but I already wrote a thing for it, because I assumed that it didn't have jack shit for me to go off of. So, there we go. That'll have the thorns thing do piercing instead of force, which is nice. We appreciate that. And your skills thorny distribution. Give me this. There we go. Thank you. Now, what's the priority on the thorns? This is using the standard priority, right? Yeah, it's just using a standard priority. Objects with higher priority will be handled before objects of lower priority. So if that's at that priority, basically what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is checked beforehand. Priority, return 1. Be checked before regular Thorns enchantment is checked. That's the ordering. Because I'm assuming that that's gonna get procced first. Now, is there a more narrow way I can define this? Because that might matter. Because the thorns, like, if you have this And then you get like if you have this ability active and you have Thorn's enchanted armor on, there's no way to differentiate the first strike of Thorns, which is going to be caused by this Thorny ability, and the Thorns enchantment. Because I don't have the damage to go off of in this context. That's probably a good thing to note down. Is priority over regular Thorns. And then we're good, and then I don't care, and then that's fine. Boom. Now, I do not know if, like, I want to have this check a separate tracker for it. I don't know if that's going to be needed. Probably not. But I'm not sure. I might just do that instead. Until I have a good reason. But just to differentiate between direct and indirect, we're going to do that. The direct one is only going to proc on direct. The indirect one's only going to proc on indirect, right? Like, it might not really be needed or necessary, but I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather have this like this for now, and then if I need this infrastructure, I have this infrastructure. This infrastructure doesn't matter, then this infrastructure doesn't matter. Whatever, right? Like, it might not matter, but I just don't know. I don't know. There's definitely some places where this can go. But we're gonna leave this as is for now. Um Yeah. There's definitely some places this can go. But it's definitely I see the path to integration. I can see it. So that's probably where I am going to wrap for today.